I know is to love what I'm doing. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to I don't want no fake love, I want the real stuff. Everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path, if you want it bad. I'm gonna show you where it's at, yeah, how you can get it back. Yeah, cause I ain't never done, I'll be number one. Working hella hard until I get just what I want, yeah. Rises like the sun, yeah, fatal like a gun. Shooters gonna shoot and I'm gonna shoot until I've won, yeah. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine, yeah. Everything I do, I'm just being genuine, yeah. I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. Oh yeah, able. Long time I thoughts to move along, push myself to be the best, die with no regrets, live with every breath. See my message start to spread, and I had so many dreams. Then you hit your teens, life ain't really what it seems. Try to find out what it means, always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine, yeah. Everything I do, I'm just being genuine, yeah. I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to I don't want no fake love, I want the real stuff. Everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path, if you want it bad. I'm gonna show you where it's at, yeah, how you can get it back. Yeah, cause I ain't never done, I'll be number one.
Let's talk about the DHT, boys. You know, the thing that I noticed is that, like, man, if you are running super physiologic levels of DHT because you have a high test level, like that, you would imagine, or you would think that you would feel all of the DHT feels. But if you just add like a sublingual 10 milligrams or a sublingual or an oral 20 milligrams of DHT powder to your regimen, you feel completely different. Like, I have been at the top of the reference range. Correction, I have been at the top, I have been double the top, and I've been near triple the top of the reference range of DHT on in the serum, and didn't feel quite how I feel on either Proviron or actual DHT. So there's something different happening when you take DHT versus just having super physiologic DHT levels. And I'm not sure what it is. You know, I think with sublingual availability, right, it's permeating the blood vessels under your tongue. It's getting right into the bloodstream right away. So the body might be dealing with that differently, right? It may actually be more neuroactive taking DHT powder than just your inherent DHT from converting your testosterone into DHT. Vigorous Steve has said this before. He made this really interesting comment, which to me is a little perplexing, but I find true, in that for him, his DHT that comes from test doesn't have the same effect on the ARs and the overall feels as either exogenous DHT or DHT derivatives. The DHT derivatives hit much harder, especially at the AR in terms of muscle tissue, than like your inherent DHT. So there might be something to say for a difference in metabolism and thus the effects from orally administered dihydrotestosterone. But I can tell you, boys, it's fucking crazy. You know, those of you that have taken Proviron before, you guys know that Proviron provides a very masculine, confident feel. It is unlike any other androgenic compound I've ever taken. DHT provides the same, maybe a little more pronounced. Enhances the sexual function multifold, so long as, you know, your estrogen is in a reasonable place. Estrogen's always the mediator of that stuff. And yeah, so far it's been incredible. Source list will launch for those of you interested in partaking in DHT. What's today? Saturday. So not this coming Friday, the following Monday. So we're looking at 9 days or so from now is when the source list is going to launch officially as a product at livecortex.com. All right, so look forward to that. Let's talk about Supraphysiologic test levels forever. Now, look, as a coach in this, I get to see people running a gamma test of 700 milligrams a test, 500 milligrams a test for years at a time, you know, with no ill effects on their health markers, at least. Like the bloods tell us that nothing's going wrong, and organ scans as well. So conceivably, nothing is going wrong in those cases, and those people just tolerate high levels of testosterone. Now, I chimed in on a Reddit thread recently, which was titled like, does anyone feel better at 100 milligrams of testosterone versus 200 milligrams? That thread you can find in various different iterations, many times throughout the testosterone subreddit. And I chimed in on that to say that, number one, you're almost definitely on testosterone cypionate if, you know, you're having problems at 200. I think there's many reasons that you'll have problems on 200, that people have problems on higher doses. And most of it has to do with their health. That's just the only thing that I can elucidate at this point. I've been over it so many times and have transformed people's regimens to the point where they can tolerate high doses of even CYP. But secondly, it's cypionate. You know, it's cypionate, which in my opinion, I've looked at all this information. I've looked at all the anecdotals, and I have a lot of clients over the years. Testosterone cypionate is the least tolerated testosterone ester. It's the least tolerated testosterone ester, cypionate, right? So I chimed in and said, you know, first of all, there's a bunch of health management shit that you can do to tolerate higher doses of cypionate. Secondly, though, it's cypionate, which causes more side effects. It causes more water retention, causes more bloat, right? Sticks around a lot fucking longer, has no trough. So, you know, if Reddit guy was able to dose the same dose, call it 200 milligrams of test prop a week, I know he would feel so much better. Same thing with cream, you know, the equivalent, which I think it's 3 pumps a day of testosterone cream is around 210. Maybe it's 4, I forget, but it's somewhere in that range. You'd feel a lot better. Again, esters are different, right? Substantially different. Test isn't test at all, because one, you know, ester goes like this and slowly kind of creeps up. And then the other administration method, call it cream, goes like this. And you peak at your peak levels in 4 hours. You peak in DHT at 6 hours. You peak in estradiol at between 4 and 6 hours. You stay, you know, pretty super physiologic or at that peak for a while, and then you drop down pretty quickly. It actually leaves your body relatively quickly when it's time to leave your body. I'm the one that popularized the notion of ester differences. I've got a lot of people using prop now. Unfortunately, Defy, or at least Empower Pharmacy, has stopped making prop for now. We've got to get to the bottom of it, and there's no real reason why, at least from my perspective. I've asked them, and they can't really give me a fucking straight answer on it. So, but yeah, ultimately, there is a big difference between esters, and people really need to keep that in mind. Because if you're that guy on the Reddit thread that's having a difficult time on 200 milligrams of cypionate, first of all, that's not a lot of testosterone, you know, all things considered. Right? So relatively speaking, it's just not a lot of testosterone. It's a normal dose of testosterone. But secondly, health management, you know, as well as trying different esters, will make people tolerate even higher doses than they ever went on cypionate that they thought they would never be able to tolerate. Yeah, just something to keep in mind, folks. But so, yeah, more to come on the DHT experiments. You know, I'm still running DHT, and I'm still trying things as well. I'm trying 20 milligrams at a time. That seems to be really good for everything. 10 milligrams sublingually, fucking awesome. 5 milligrams sublingually, awesome as well. So more to come. You know, I've ceased fire on the androstanolone gel for now, because the DHT powder is just in my wheelhouse at the moment, and I really, really like it. So, okay, let's get to questions, boys. I hope you're having a great Saturday. I hope you are ready for the fall, because boy, is it coming. It's coming quick finally now. I mean, I feel like it's just been continuously summer now. It's, what is it? It's October, and now it's starting to get a little chilly. Rack poll. I wonder if Kurt Haven's study will show what a lot of us already learned through trial and error about cypionate being inferior ester. I don't know about this. So if you have some information that I don't know, I would really love to see, because if someone's out there doing a study on this, like, a study of side effects with testosterone cypionate versus prop as an example, then I would love to see, because it will validate everything that I've seen in my client work, as well as what we've seen on this channel with people commenting like, hey, I switched from sip to prop and everything is like fucking substantially better. Whatever study this is, dude, if you have any information about that, like post it in the chat or post it as a comment once this chat goes live as a video so that I can check it out. TDM, damn, your traps and shoulders really grow in this cycle. Yeah, here's a physique update, man. Again, the thing that I'm noticing on this cycle is like, first of all, everything's bigger, which I really like. Second, which I couldn't really do on TRT doses for my genetics specifically. I mean, some people can blow up on 150. I really can't do that. Secondarily, everything's lighter at the gym. I mean, things are just substantially lighter, which is great. Meaning I'm stronger. Pushing 225 for bench, 9 to 10 reps, whereas I could only push it 2 to 3 reps, historically. And I fatigue a lot less when it comes to, well, general energy, obviously, throughout the day, but also when it comes to lifting weights. It's actually pretty fucking awesome. This is my new physique. I mean, this is basically what we're looking at. And this was me on a run like 3 days ago or so. Again, everything is just substantially fucking bigger and veinier. That was post the gym 2 hours prior. Fasted, slightly fast. I mean, I had a little bit of food in between, and then 2-mile run out in the city. And yeah, man, looking fucking mean, dude. Looking fucking mean. I love how I feel. It's been great. It's been great. It's gonna be hard for me to go back down. Not sure that I want to, boys. Okay. Morning, brother. Thank you. Okay, I got a super chat from Ferenc. Let's see. I have PFS with ED, shrinkage, heart flaccid, starting at 250 milligrams test enanthate. Plus 100 milligrams primo, and then 500 IU HCG 3 times weekly, and Dractum on the shaft as well. Should I pump before and Dractum? Anything to add to the protocol? Sure, I think that's a good idea. I think you sound like you have your shit together regarding this, so that's a great thing. I think pumping would be a great idea. Yeah, for sure. I mean, there is no, besides perhaps Kegels, which is, I don't know. I mean, there's no paper on that. It seems to anecdotally help people because you're kind of working the pelvic floor and the erectile muscle, so possibly that helps. But like the only physical thing that you can do to improve erection quality damn near immediately in a very substantial way, which is indistinguishable from placebo and is very powerfully effective, is pumping. Yeah, I mean, think about it. The whole purpose of pumping is to mimic nocturnal erections and their maintenance of blood flow in the junk. That's what you're really doing, right? That's what you do when you pump. You just do it throughout the day. A 5-minute session here, 5-minute session there, 2 10-minute sessions, at 30 to 50% erectile quality. I don't think, even though they're, I put up that graph of the suggestion to do full erections. These guys maintain even in that, don't do that very long, right? That's where you can cause injury, and you'll have a lack of erectile function for 2 to 3 days as the edema works its way out of your penis. So that's just something to fucking consider. But otherwise, very, very effective. 30 to 50%, 10 minutes at a time. There's all manner of regimens. Do what's comfortable for you and do what you can tolerate. If you have any degree of like extra redness or some significant pain, you're pumping too much at too high of a pressure, and you should take some time off. Generally speaking, as I've pumped, because I fucking always pump, and it's just done wonders, honestly, for girth and for erectile quality, just like maintaining things regardless. Because I'm one of those guys, like I had sexual dysfunction in my early 30s, and I'll fucking never have it again, dude. I will make damn sure it never happens again. Pumping is awesome. Sure, pumping before Dractum opens up the blood vessels. We'll get some oxygen to the tissues, which will be very useful for the Dractum. And the one thing no one's proved yet, and I haven't been able to prove because I don't think there's any way to prove that, is if Dractum acts locally, at the tissue level topically, or if it just goes systemic because there's blood vessels, and then your body decides how to sort of divvy that out, and then the tissues decide how much dihydrotestosterone they need. So nobody really knows. I obviously got a positive rectogenic response from DHT gel, but that could be either of these outcomes. You know, it could be systemic DHT, or it could be local DHT. So nobody really knows. So I think either way, it's effective. It's useful to use, especially if you have issues like this. You know, definitely. If I were you, though, I think that's a good ratio of testosterone to primo, but just be careful because primobolan can lower estrogen too much, where you'll almost never recover because you'll never get your libido back when estrogen's too low. Great question. Fucking good luck, bro. You might do better, though, taking actual DHT. There is a difference between oral DHT as well and Indractum. The feels are much different. I feel like the oral DHT is much more bioavailable. It's much more neuroactive, and it seems to have more profound effect on erectile quality for me personally. So just something to think about. Darren, have you worked with clients who were already on testosterone and still ended up with PFS after taking a 5-AR? Yes, this happens. You know, I think there's, again, I had a real, I don't know, have a diplomatic way to say this. I had a real fucking idiotic comment recently, repeating the same verbatim unoriginal shit that the pro-finasteride people repeat, which is that the studies say that, you know, finasteride or dutasteride like doesn't cause ED. It's such fucking horseshit. And one of the points that he made, first of all, I've debunked all this on a 1-hour documentary called PFS Deniers, Post-Finasteride Syndrome Deniers, a Dangerous Precedent, where I've got 20 fucking citations and an hour longer breaking down all the literature where scientists way smarter than these people identified and designated dihydrotestosterone as the main penile androgen, penile maintenance androgen, erectile function androgen. Secondly, though, one of the points this idiot tried to make was that if you're on testosterone, you're somehow protected from PFS. That's not true. That's not true at all. That's an actual lie. Like, that's just dumb. Rudimentary understanding of enzyme physiology as it relates to test reduction to DHT would tell you that if you have testosterone in the system via exogenously administered testosterone, but you're inhibiting 5-AR, well, what the fuck is going to turn your test to DHT then? You know, nothing. There's a few other backdoor pathways which upregulate a little bit in that case, but it's not nearly enough to get you the DHT you want. So you can be on T all you want, okay? And you'll be anabolic. This guy's probably referencing Hair Cafe's reference of a study which showed that you're anabolic on testosterone with finasteride. Well, of course you are. Of course you are. That's never the argument. The argument is you're less androgenic because you can't convert to DHT. So I would not, even if you're on TRT, touch a 5-AR inhibitor. Nope. Brother, there are studies on this, and I think in my last video, I briefly displayed a study on this, where the inhibition of 5-alpha reductase is strongly correlated with Alzheimer's, okay? Alzheimer's. And if you've taken DHT and you recognize the powerful neuroactive benefits of that, it intuitively makes sense that inhibiting DHT would cause neurological issues, because taking DHT causes profound neurological upgrades. Very, very powerful. I do not think pro-hormones can fix PFS. Derek is saying that Kurt said the study regarding, I guess, comparing cypionate to other esters will be out in a few weeks. You'll see Steve do a deep dive when he publishes the study, his words. Okay, great. That'd be great. I would love for that to happen. Regardless of what the study says, the fields are different. I mean, you could look at pharmacokinetics and determine that, you know, it's somewhat similar or whatever, but, you know, you can't convince me that, you know, that esters are the same. The real life is much different than studies sometimes. So we'll see if there are discrepancies in that regard. TDM, I didn't know if you talked about this, but seen Vigor Steve talk about DHT cream to increase penis size. Is this true? I think it's plausibly true. Yeah, I think it's plausibly true, especially in conjunction with pumping. Yeah, I think it's plausibly true. I mean, look, what we do know about DHT is that it is the androgen that gives you penis size when you're, you know, developing, right? It's DHT that stops progesterone from activating its receptors and making you a woman in the womb. Okay, if you have 5-AR1 and 5-AR2 deficiency, you don't develop male organ at all. You have underdeveloped male sex organ. So, you know, we know that. So it's plausible to assume that DHT in your latter years could help, penis size, but I think really it has to be in conjunction with pumping if you want my personal opinion on the matter, right? Because you got to be stretching the tissues as well as super oxygenating the tissues to facilitate growth in that regard. I can tell you that a lack of DHT facilitates shrinkage. So it does make sense and it is very plausible. Rackpull says it was mentioned on Steve's latest podcast with Dr. Kurt and Dean. They started a study directly comparing enanthate and cypionate pharmacokinetics. Okay, well, that's not really what I thought it was. The pharmacokinetics are going to be different between the two of those. What really needs to be done is a study comparing cypionate and the effect on hematocrits, the effect on estradiol, and people's subjective experiences with a questionnaire compared to testosterone propionate. That's what really needs to be done. I've already seen it, bore out in real life that prop is just way better for all these things. But a study would be cool to see other people go and validate what I've already learned in practice. Ftoften. Is that how you say that? Hi, thanks for the good content. Doing good on test E, 500 to 750 milligrams a week, and have a bottle of expired test prop. How can I incorporate it into my cycle before workout? I mean, expired, it should be fine if that's what you're asking. But regarding how you can incorporate it, I don't know if you'd want to, but if you really want to, just add another 50 milligrams pre-workout. Yeah, add 50 milligrams pre-workout. I go to the gym these days, not in the morning anymore. I go to the gym at 4 or 5 p.m. And that's around the time, when I was running prop and cream, I'd run cream in the morning and prop in the evening. And so that worked out really fucking well for gym sessions and, at 4 or 5 p.m., just prop right before. And I definitely noticed it. So if you injected 50, that'd be an extra 350 a week, taking you up to a gram or 1050. So if you're okay with that, great. And just run 50 milligrams of prop prior. I personally like 70 milligrams of prop prior to gym sessions in this context, but whatever you think, I think you'll have a great experience. You'll have whatever baseline you're at with a slow releasing enanthate, but you'll have a boost for 20 hours or so, which will drop back down the very next day from that prop dose. Yeah, when I cycle down or off of the 500 of enanthate, I'm probably just going to cycle on to what I was running at some point in this cycle, which was 70 of prop every day and 3 or 4 pumps of cream every day. I really liked how I felt on that. The acne was a little worse, but that's all manageable. So I guess we'll see about that. Appreciate your feedback and your opinion. Should I pin Primaballin right along with the first testosterone injection or wait a week or so? You have to give me context again, because I remember your question earlier, but there's been many questions in between. And super chat that. If you guys have a more complex question, just super chat them. That's how you'll get my attention. Justin, you've mentioned microdosing Proviron as a great addition to TRT. Would Masteron have the same effect? No. And you guys have to remember about this. Like, these are all different compounds. So how would they have the same effect? They're not the same. They're not the same. It would have a similar effect, right? A similar effect. I think Proviron will drop SHBG a little lower than Masteron would, is my personal opinion. Masteron's still going to drop SHBG or bind to it and lower it a bit. I haven't taken Masteron, so I don't have experience with it. I will take it. I have a source for it. I should just fucking get it. I know it's going to mess with estrogen, and right now I don't need to mess with estrogen, so that's probably one of the reasons I haven't experimented with it. But remember, I've been on a test cycle for 2.5 months or so, and so I'm not looking to fuck things up. Or try anything particularly new besides DHT powder. But yeah, I think they would be different. I think they would be slightly different. The weird thing is that what I see in client work can't really be explained, or I don't know how to explain it, but people also have varying differences or responses between Masteron, between people. So some people, it's like perfect. It gives them raging boners and they fucking have crazy libido and they're dry as fuck and they're, they have that Greek god-like physique. It's a really round-looking physique, but tight and shredded. And then for other people, it just crushes their estrogen. So, I think it's just going to be, unfortunately, again, different between people. But the difference between these two is, I think, pretty significant. Morning, Kevin. How's life, brother? Lake. I would throw sip in the trash if I still had some. Prop has been amazing. Currently switching to anything right now just to see how I respond. I love my high libido. Totally. Yeah. Enanthate will probably do you good as well. You know, I was somewhat of a hater on long esters before I even really gave enanthate a shot, but I found it's completely different than testosterone cypionate. Yeah, completely different. For me personally, just feels different. So you probably like that too. It peaks quicker, troughs faster, that kind of thing. And that's, I think, where you get the real benefit there. Regarding prop and libido, yeah, prop is just very powerful for libido. And the higher you go, the higher libido tends to uptick. It's usually via peak and aromatization, as well as probably some dopaminergic stuff that prop is able to execute on the brain. So I think that that's good. But yeah, everybody that, you know, almost everybody, or probably everybody that makes this transition, that, you know, is running testosterone cypionate for a while and then starts taking testosterone propionate, they're going to find it so much better. They're going to find it so much fucking better. Problem is, it's now becoming less and less available. So I literally, just because of all this, because Empower Pharmacy stopped making testosterone propionate, and thus Defy doesn't have it, and their response was so stupid. It was just, well, we have a sit prop blend. Okay, yeah, sure. Sure, that's the same or even somewhat fucking comparable. I recently just got a 20 milliliter vial of fucking, is it 20 milliliters? Yeah, it's some substantial amount of prop from a UGL source, which I'll be putting out on a list next Monday. Not this Monday, but next Monday. Nick says, test suspension pre-workout is fun. I bet it is. Yeah, you know, for the guy asking about prop, test suspension would be more immediate, but prop is pretty immediate, man. Guns meeting God. Why would DHT make me feel anhedonia for the day that I take it? Probably lowering estrogen or competing, you know, antagonizing estrogen. That's probably the reason for that. Otherwise, though, if you've got some sort of weird thing happening neurologically because you took finasteride or something, then who knows how it's going to interact. Sometimes, like, you'll have negative shit happening while it's trying to repair stuff, is a theory of mine. But generally, that is not a common response from DHT. It is commonly the absolute opposite. Like me, as an example, when I take it, I took 20 milligrams yesterday sublingually. Fucking euphoric. Euphoric almost instantly because of how quickly it absorbs, and then just like a god king for the rest of the day. Hope you're well as well, brother. CJP, for most people, Masteron doesn't affect estrogen levels like Primo does. It acts as a serum by blocking the estrogen receptor. Well, whether it's affecting the serum or not, it still has an anti-estrogenic effect in everybody I've worked with. Masteron doesn't act as an AI. It masks high E2 sides. Have you proven that? Have you looked at serum E2? Have you looked at a robust set of people's serum E2? Because I've seen it lower it. Don't know where you're getting that information from. You're repeating it. Don't do that. Nico Void, what's the difference you felt between DHT gel and DHT powder? So I explained this earlier, but there is a profound difference. DHT powder hits quicker, is more kind of brain active. I just feel like euphoric right away, and very good and very stoic, but also masculine, generally assertive as I am, but more so. Nothing can shake my confidence on DHT powder and Proviron. Kind of does somewhat of the same thing. I think the DHT powder might be a little stronger. Whereas the DHT gel, it just seems less neuroactive, and that might be because it's topically applied, and that it might be, you know, acting more locally on the tissue than systemically. I don't know, but I also know that, you know, if you orally take DHT in olive oil in a capsule, like, you're going to absorb that. You're probably just absorbing it faster and better, or more of it, compared to Andractum. Yeah, it's I mean, it's the male hormone, bro. Rashik, all right, let this be an example for everybody. Rashik, you are now banned from the chat. You are banned from the chat, okay? You are banned from the chat moving forward. All your stuff will be hidden, because stop asking for fucking sources. Everybody make sure you're listening in the comment section. I've said this before, so this is why it pisses me off. You ask for a fucking source for any product, you are getting fucking banned. Okay, this is why this is where YouTube bans creators. Okay, because they think we're selling illegal shit, which we're not. Ask for a fucking source and you're fucking banned. Pay the fuck attention. Preston saw a video about buying test powder and mixing it at home. Supposedly it's way cheaper. Is it safe? Well, it is cheaper. I mean, anything that you can it's technically home brewing. And I think if you follow Chase Iron's YouTube channel and become a member on his website, I think they've got like instructions on home brewing. I've not gotten into it because I don't know at this point, but I don't know, maybe in the future. Regarding safety, I think that all comes down to the individual and their safety, like how safe they are with it all. Yeah, I mean, the individual has to be safe, and I imagine that means like doing everything you can to rid the final product of impurities. Like you probably want to be doing it in a clean room. Like back in the day, I owned an iOS device services repair company where we fixed iPhones, and essentially I made like a little clean room so that dust and shit didn't get under iPad screens as we were replacing them for like school districts. And so in that regard, I think you would want to like work super hard to not have airborne contaminants get into your test. So I think it would be hard to make it safe. Well, it'd be hard to make it super, super pure in that regard. But, why doesn't everyone do it? Because it's much more cumbersome. That's why it's much more cumbersome. For me, like a guy who has the money, but it's not that expensive. Like I just ordered 20 milliliters of prop from UGL, from a UGL source. So like that's easier for me. I wouldn't think about it at this point. Homebrewing. Also 19 Norse and Trenbolone. Do you ever plan to try it? Oh, Tren? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. I'd like to be able to say I've tried everything, like, but also there's certain drugs that I have client experience with of people using them, and I mean Trenbolone, it's hit or miss. Like some people have no side effects at all, but a good degree of people have fucking side effects, dude. A lot of them. Some people have sexual dysfunction after taking it. Some people they're fine. Other people have breathing problems taking it. There's a lot of weird shit about Tren that I'm just not sure of personally. So I don't think it's not on my radar at all. Ferenc, you mentioned in one of your videos that a single dose of DHT powder cured a client from Decadic. Could you talk a bit more about it? Yeah, 80 milligrams of standalone powder cured it in a day. 24 hours it took. We have no idea why. Other than potentially dihydronandrolone binding to the AR at penile tissue. Nobody really knows, but yes, a single dose of 80 milligrams of DHT powder cured a guy that had long-standing Decadic after long usage of Decadurabolin. So I can't explain why it happened, but DHT resolved the problem. Yeah, it's all good, but again, I've said this 1,000 times. You have to think about this. DHT is not a legal drug to have in the United States. So if you're asking me where to get it, you're telling me to break the rules on YouTube. Just use your mind a little bit. Darren, have you come across the Vertigo radio frequency device? What? For ED, not sure if it's available in the US yet. It's a bit like a shockwave therapy, works in a different way, needs more research. No, I haven't. I've never heard of that. Vertical radio frequency device. I mean, look, I don't dispute that it might be effective. I just would love to see what it does, Yeah, I'd love to see what it does. Look, I have the Phoenix, which is a shockwave device, and yeah, I noticed more rigid erections, like with consistent use of it, but it wasn't any significant over my baseline because I don't have ED, right? If I had ED, I think it might be useful. But who knows? Regarding radio frequency, I don't know. I mean, if it's possible for radio frequency or anything to just oxygenate the tissues, or in these cases, what really like the Phoenix or other way shockwave stuff is really intended to do is break up like fibrosis and induce neovascularization. So new blood vessels, basically. If it does that, then sure, I like it. Sure, it definitely can have a positive effect on erectile quality. The single most effective thing I've seen is, obviously androgens, the addition of oral DHT, and pumping, as well as PDE5 inhibitor therapy. Either 50 to 100 milligrams sildenafil at night before bed, you want to foster nocturnal erections, or 10 to 15 milligrams of tadalafil every day, taken later in the day so that you can facilitate nocturnal erections at night. Yeah. Preston with the super chat. Thank you, brother. Ran testosterone cream the past 2 weeks. My voice got slightly deeper. Shoulders were a little more pronounced without any gym changes. Is there that much more androgen receptors in your shoulder versus balls? Hugely great topic. Because I'll tell you what, boys, I noticed in my tenure of using cream that when I rubbed it on my shoulders, in just 2 additional pumps than the standard dose, which is 4 pumps a day, 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening. If I ran 4 pumps in the morning and 2 pumps in the evening, all on the shoulders, my shoulders fucking blew up. Blew up, dude. Okay. I've got pictures of it, man. There's just, it was only for a brief period, but very quickly they blew up. You have a lot of ARs in your shoulders. And so you probably just get more androgen receptor binding when you're applying it to the shoulders. You're going to get more testosterone, which is more anabolic as well. You're rubbing it on the testicles, you know, because of the 5-AR2 in pubic skin, you're getting more DHT, usually, so assuming you don't have a deficiency in 5-alpha reductase enzymes. So yes, this is absolutely true. I noticed it myself personally. If you rub cream on the shoulders, your shoulders are going to get bigger. Yes, my shoulders are, you know, probably get a little bigger when I switch from enanthate back down to test, prop, and cream, which is going to be soon. Any day now, really, I could do it. I just kind of like the anabolism, so we'll see. But yep, no question. Got to be some sort of absorption thing happening regarding the ARs at the shoulder level. Yep, something for people to consider too, because I know people that if they try to run 6 pumps of testosterone cream on the testicles, they end up with sexual dysfunction. I don't know why. I think it's atrophying the testicles very quickly. It's just, I don't know, or it's too much DHT, not enough estrogen, not enough test, just an imbalance. Whereas they rub it on the shoulders and everything's fine. Everything's fine. So something to consider, man. Especially if you've got shut down testicles, let's say you're not on HCG or you're on a dose that, you know, the internet has told you is fine, but may not be sufficient for you. Maybe you need 500 IU every other day, but you got shut down testicles and then you're putting cream on the testicles. Like maybe you don't have enough 5-AR2 to convert to DHT. And that's where, you know, things are a little subpar. Tim, does taking minoxidil while taking DHT cancel the effects of DHT? No, I don't think that it would. I think it might cancel some of your own, and it would cancel the overall net benefit of the DHT that you might be getting via your own natural test or exogenous test. It would cancel some of the net benefit of the combined converted DHT from exogenous test and, you know, your oral DHT. Your oral DHT will be untouched because it's not 5-alpha reducing. It's already 5-alpha reduced, but you know, the DHT that you get from your testosterone would still have to go through 5-AR. And minoxidil, as much as it's touted as not a systemic 5-AR inhibitor, does go systemic. Does go systemic. I have clients with PFS, full blown of PFS from, you guessed it, just minoxidil. Okay, so for those of you who think you're fucking smarter than me that go minoxidil can't cause PFS, yes it can. I have proof. So yeah, watch out for that. Kevin Stallings, will zinc picolinate, calcium glucarate, and naringin help control estrogen and hematocrit? Should. I have an anastrozole, but really don't want to take it. Yeah, you would be better off taking aromasin than these things because, you know, well, zinc is pretty useful, calcium glucarate as well, but it's you got to take it every day. The estrogen is going to come right back. But it might be fine just to take every day. The naringin will help control hematocrit. I think if you want to really control hematocrit, get on a short ester. Half your problems will be solved there, or stay on a longer ester, but do cardio, specifically running, and your hematocrit's going to go down. But I got to tell you, aromasin, like people are afraid to take an anastrozole, and I understand because it drops your estrogen too quick. It does so in a way which is very unnatural, and your tissues just get starved of fucking estrogen right away. You know, for a good degree of people that have problems with anastrozole, some people it's fine. Whereas with aromasin, this does not happen. This does not happen. I mean, you can if you take it down sub 20. I took my, just to give you some insight into what, you know, what happened with me when I started dosing aromasin, I was taking 6.25 every day, then bumped it up to 12.5 every day. And I ran it for a total of 6 days. Took my estrogen from 91, ready? 91 to 23. 23. And I had no side effects along the way until libido started getting a little fucked up around the 20s. I can't have it that low. I didn't think it would take it as that low. Didn't feel like it. That's the point though. No side effects, you know, until it got down really low. And even then, so I didn't have the traditional anastrozole like side effects where I would feel my bones getting a little fucking sore with an anastrozole at various times. Didn't happen with Romacin. You're better off using a Romacin, bro. Something real small, 6.25 once a week if you need estrogen control. If you don't, nothing. But you had Ester at 72. How do you feel? How do you feel? One thing I found going at higher doses of TAS is that, the number of the serum of estrogen, if you feel great, isn't particularly problematic so long as you don't think it's causing any additional, if it's not causing dick issues or whatever. My body likes to be at 45, 55 at 500 of TAS. That's where my body likes. Above, I have a little bit of issues. Below, I certainly have issues. Yeah. So, 72, that's kind of high. If you're susceptible to gyno, you're risking that at this point. If you're susceptible to erectile issues from fluctuations, you're risking, your dick at this point. Something to consider. Preston, I'm switching from cream to anything. If you want to keep those androgen fields, should I bring in Proviron or DHT powder? Both will do that, but I wouldn't switch quite. I think as far as I can tell, you've only run it for 2 weeks. You got to give it more time and try different things, try different doses, try different variations. It's really all about the metabolites control for the most part. And what are you trying to achieve? I know guys that tried, again, talking about this penile rehab stuff, they tried every protocol with androgens, and they're thinking it's the testosterone protocol that's wrong, and they still have ED. But the moment I got them on combo PDE5 and vacuum erectile device therapy, their erections came back. Same dose of testosterone. So got to really distinguish between what's really wrong here. Orlando, what's up, Orlando? SHBG at 35 and estradiol at 25. Would you consider that low? No. Also, I'm newly subscribed and really enjoy your content. Thanks, brother. I don't think the estradiol is too low, but you're really pushing that edge. If you're on TRT doses, it's fine. That's like pretty standard, like where people feel pretty good. However, some people still feel where I feel good at 500, which is 55 on just TRT. You're going to need to find that number. You're going to need to find that number. So I don't know what the difference is. I don't know what this discrepancy is, because it's like, I think maybe people at 25 that feel good don't have a drastic reduction at the tissue level. The tissue still has what they need. And then other people at 25 serum estradiol sensitive have side effects because it's reducing the tissue level estradiol too much. So the SHBG could be a little lower though. If I were you, I'd probably want to get that at like 20, 25 is like a good spot for sex hormone binding globulin, in my opinion. Yeah. Yep. Brothers. Here's the physique update, boys. Feeling big as ever, strong as fuck in the gym. I'm really enjoying it. I don't want to go down. I'll be on Supraphysiologic test. I'll be on cycle level test for a while. I also am becoming more and more interested in, how long I can tolerate that and what that does to the bloods. I'll be doing an echo soon. I want to do an echo just for the fuck of it. I haven't done an echo in like 3 years. So I'm going to do an echocardiogram just to see where things are at. And, real curious, man. Mohammed, should TRT be the main focus to solve long-term anhedonia caused by ashwagandha? I think so. I think that should be one main focus. Yeah. I think getting estrogen up, in a reasonable place, but not above 60 would be useful in this case too. I also think taking some dopaminergics, maybe low dose P5P every day, 100 milligrams, 50 milligrams would be very useful for this. I also think that DHT itself would be very useful for this. Yeah. Yep. Definitely. Mohammed, cipraheptadine gives me windows. I know you've said that PSSD or similar symptoms is an endocrine issue more than a serotonin or dopamine problem, which I totally agree. Yeah, cipraheptadine gives you windows because it affects luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone, not because it's a serotonin receptor antagonist. It might be procholinergic. I think it's actually anticholinergic initially. People get positive responses on the sexual side, usually on the rebound when cipraheptadine stops antagonizing serotonin receptors. So yeah, no, it's gonadotropins that are being affected. That is the consequential thing here, and not the serotonin aspect of it. I've already proven that. I've proven that and worked with cipraheptadine with clients more than a half decade ago. Right, so I've known this for years. Ramiel, good morning, Ryan. As far as price goes, what's a good price range for TRT and HCG, and what is a ripoff? These days they're all kind of the same. It's all a ripoff. It's all a ripoff. Yeah, unless you can get good quality UGL, it's far too much. All of it's far too much. That's my opinion, honestly. Justin, I've read that taking a higher dose of boron is supposed to be comparable to a mild dose of Proviron. Is this true? No, not at all. The only similarities that boron and Proviron have are the reduction in sex hormone binding globulin. That's all. So no, this is just not true. Not true. Yeah, boron has some conflicting like evidence regarding reduction in estradiol or increase in estradiol. It does one or the other, you know? So nobody really knows, but I think it can or does affect estrogen levels, or does or can affect estrogen levels at some probably inconsequential level. But no, it's not the same. You know, Proviron is a heavy androgen receptor agonist that has more affinity for the AR than testosterone, but less affinity for the AR than DHT. Sticks around longer than testosterone at the AR, but sticks around less long than DHT. Acts as an aromatase inhibitor, mildly. Proviron does, and boron doesn't do any of that. James Locklear. Did I hear you mention before that deeper intramuscular injections can help prevent PIP from happening with test prop? Yes, you have heard me say that. Yeah, but it all depends on where you inject, honestly. If you inject in the glutes, it's your best bet. Ventroglute or actual glute is your best bet to avoid PIP with prop. Also, though, I noticed personally that keeping the same injection method, but just continuing to inject prop over time, lessens the PIP, you know? So it's like maybe your body the tissues end up getting used to it, or you're frying the nerve endings, which contribute to pain. I really don't know, but over time, the PIP gets better. You'll get the worst PIP if you do sub-Q prop. Yep, you're going to get the worst PIP. Yeah, because it's just sitting in your tissues. It's sitting in your skin tissues, which you don't want. You don't want it just sitting there. You want it in the intramuscular depot where it can quickly via vascular tissue, move into the bloodstream. Mohammed is saying, heard some people saying test prop is not good for long-term use. Are they speaking out of their ass? Yeah. 100%. Like, just even how you said that, like, gives rise to how that's horseshit. You've heard people saying that? Ooh, it's probably inexperienced people that have been on Cypionate forever and that, peruse Reddit all day. Never taken a cycle before. Have never tried any ancillaries. Probably don't even run their own blood work. A lot of those guys saying a lot of shit. Devil Dog pays $40 a month for TRT. That's pretty good. $125 a month for TRT. Yeah, I think that's okay, but that's because Kevin's covered under insurance. Oh, right, exactly, or not. Yeah, mine isn't covered under insurance. Most clinics they don't. But I guess if you're getting it through a doctor, maybe they do. Mohammed, is Ester important for someone trying to cure PSSD-like symptoms? It may be. I mean, you might just do better on proper cream. Boys, did you like the content this week? This coming week, what do I have to talk about this coming week? I know there was like a pretty prominent topic that I wanted to discuss. What was it? Was it like, there's certainly room to do some content about the neurodegenerative aspects of not having DHT. So I'll probably be talking about that, this coming week. But there was something else really fucking critical that I wanted to discuss. I guess you'll have to wait and see. I think Monday we'll be launching that content. So look forward to that. Monday, Wednesday, or Thursday for content. And then Saturday for live streams. Brothers. Mauricio, good day, brother. Time for cab 0.25 to kick in for recreational purposes right away. Yeah, I mean the effect duration windows between 40 and 60 hours, so that's just how long it sits at the dopamine D2 receptors. It's a very, very long acting drug. It's effectively the half-life, right? Is 50 hours or so, 60 hours. Depends on the person. I think that the most pronounced reduction or the time where cabergoline is at its most potent state is like in the first 4 hours or so. You're going to get a drastic reduction in prolactin right away. So for recreational purposes, you'll have a marked difference in your refractory period right away. Yeah. But here's the thing. What I found personally in experimenting with CAB and with like a lot of other prolactin lowering agents, including 9-MEBC, is that the real powerful benefits on refractory period, reduction in refractory period, meaning being able to have sex and then 30 minutes later being fully ready to go again, happen at the below 5 nanograms per milliliter threshold. That's what I found personally for me. That even at 6 or 7 or whatever, like your refractory period was still good taking CAB, but taking my prolactin sub 5, it was at 2 and 1.9 nanograms per milliliter, which at which point I had no side effects, by the way, because there's no disease associated with low prolactin in males. That's when my fucking refractory period was off the charts, bro. Off. I could go 3 times a day and be like, whatever, all good. So that's what you're looking at, brother. Like, I mean, it'll have an effect right away. People are different. It'll have an effect right away, but you're really looking at getting it super low to have that refractory period benefit. Dave, oh, you're a legend. Thank you, brother. Thanks for the information about sipping. I was feeling like shit on it and never knew it could have been the Ester. Absolutely. It is the Ester in these cases. You know, I don't know what you're on now, but I'm happy that you're not on sipping it anymore. I don't think I'll ever dose it again unless there's a nationwide shortage, in which case there's always UGL, right? There's always going to be UGL. So yeah, I love prop. I love cream. I like enanthate. I don't like sipping it. I still have, you know, for this reason and for other reasons, I would just get new vials, whatever. Or I was very sponsored. I was lower dosing Cypionate. But I have so much testosterone Cypionate, it's fucking unbelievable. And yeah, I'm keeping it for a rainy day in case I ever need it. That's such a smart thing to do. But I want to throw it out. I want to fucking burn it. I want to crush all the vials and just watch all that shitty inferior ester, you know, drop down a drain or something. Be like fucking terrible. What's the best supplement to lower hemoglobin? Well, I think you'd probably be able to do that with Naringin as well. Otherwise, do some cardio. Well, Hamid, I feel like TRT would be more popular in the coming generations as testosterone levels, I remember, plummeting. Definitely. He's at 450 at 23 years old, good diet and exercise. Well, if you have PSSD, which I think you did see again, that shows you gonadotropins are part of your problem. You're not making enough of them, which is why supraheptadine makes you feel better temporarily, or can. But yeah, this is a huge point. I mean, dude, where did I must have been a client. Was it? It must have been. I recently ran into someone who was like 19 or 20 years old with 300 something nanograms per deciliter total test. Nothing wrong on the rest of his blood work. No thyroid issues, no otherwise issues that you would think be causing that. But he's got 300 tests. Like, what the fuck is going on, dude? You know, what's disrupting this guy's hormones? You know, endocrine disruptors in the environment, probably, right? Foods and whatever. But it happens. It happens. This happens. This, though, I mean, this has got to be some brain level thing. This has got to be a gonadotropin related problem. I'd be on HCG at the very least if I were you, but I don't, maybe Clomid, but ultimately TRT. Steve, too general of a question. What else can you use for sexual desire? PT 141 would be the answer. You know, you guys got to think about sexual desire in the context of a lot of things, right? I mean, number one, androgens. Number one is testosterone, estradiol, and DHT being optimal. Obviously, you don't want your prolactin above range or close to the top of the range. You don't even want it close to the top of the range. So you have to think about all these things in this context. Because if those things are fucked up, not a whole lot will help you. Anything that you do will help you very temporarily and won't be consistent. So PT 141 might help and you think you found the solution to your issue. But then the next time you take it, it won't. Right? Because you need to get the hormone levels straight, and PT 141 forces all this hypothalamic dopamine release, which is unsustainable. And then the next time you take it or the fourth time you take it, whatever, the effect's not going to be the same. Have a good weekend as well, brother. Plank Road, Empower said they were out of prop, but it wasn't discontinued. Not sure if that's true. Well, if they said it, what do you mean they said it? If they said it, well, that must be true. As far as I know, they told me directly it was discontinued. Discontinued. So you're saying Empower said they were out of prop, but wasn't discontinued? Not sure where you're getting at here. They told me personally it was discontinued. If you're not sure it was true, they either didn't say that, or how could you not be sure if they said that? Or their third option is they're telling people different things. Any suggestions for low-cost lab work? You can order on your own. Yeah, discountedlabs.com. Discountedlabs.com or Private Med Labs, maybe. I've never tried these guys. I use Discounted Labs because it's Nelson Virgil's company. I don't really like Nelson because he kicked me out of his Facebook group because I was, not letting these people get away with let estrogen go to 90. Fucking idiots. That just shows you they'll silence people, somewhat akin to the TRT hormone optimization channel. Those guys are way worse. But it could have been Nelson, could have been one of the mods, and they have a Facebook testosterone group that they kicked me out of. But that's what happens. That's what happens when you get a consequential motherfucker who knows more than everybody. They're like, no, what you're saying goes against my dogma. You must leave. No, I can't see a different perspective. I won't allow it. Hector 87. Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, brother. Good morning, brother. I just saw a Hulk Hogan meme that was like, sadly, it's like when you find out that not everyone is your brother, and it's Hulk Hogan crying. Fucking great. Brother. I'm on 20 milligrams of test prop, 140 week, great dose. 125 IU HCG every day, I assume. Recently started Primo, ratio 1:5 test. Well, I don't know what that translates to, so you have to give me the actual doses. Or 1.5. I don't know. I don't think so. On 140 a week of prop, your estrogen's probably only, you probably get it to like 50. Depends on you, I guess, but on 70 of prop every other day, so that is more than you're taking, and 3 pumps of testosterone cream every other day, my estrogen went to 65. So your estrogen probably going to go to 50 or so on that. In which case, very low dose Primo, man. I'm talking about 20 to 30 milligrams a week. Maybe even lower. Some people take Primo and it just moves the estrogen in a way where they lose libido, and erectile quality. Got to be careful. 93 milligrams Primo a week on 140. I think it's probably too much Primo. Yeah. I wouldn't take that much Primo on my test cycle based on how I respond to estrogen lowering agents, right. On a cycle specifically. If I was on TRT, I would never touch 100 milligrams of Primo a week. Me personally, that'd take the estrogen too low. But I also don't aromatize as much as perhaps other people. I'm usually running short ester, so I don't aromatize as much, or it gets to trough. I don't drink alcohol ever. And so, like that, those things make me aromatize less, like a lot less than I guess the average person. On 210 milligrams of testosterone a week, I aromatize to 35. No HCG. When I bring the HCG in at 210, I aromatize to 55 picograms per milliliter. Isn't that crazy? Same dose. 20 point difference in estradiol just from having functional testicles, which makes sense. But just something to consider, brother. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Here's a physique update. This is where I'm at. Boom. Feeling good. Feeling large, feeling in charge, man. Lifting more weights at the gym. Just like kind of loving how my physique is. I've been working very hard. I've been working very fucking hard. I'm actually taking days off now where I never did that. To build the physique that I have, I worked out for, 2.5 years every day, 7 days a week. I would rarely take a day off if I was sick. So maybe 2 days off a year or a day off on Christmas Day or something. So I built my physique largely from 2 years going to the gym every day, 2.5, but running high levels of test and then pushing harder I'm not really eating like a madman either because I don't want to. I can't eat. I'd probably be bigger, but I'm not a bodybuilder and I don't want to be a bodybuilder. I'm not interested in that look. I'm interested in a thin, lean, muscular physique, not to be gigantic. I don't care personally, you know. I'm a good physical fighter, so I can handle my own being my size. I'm all good, brother. But yeah, that's where we're at. I will continue growing. I don't think there's any question about that because I'm going to continue running the cycle. And if not, the NFA will switch down to prop and cream at a similar milligram intake per week. I really do want to continue running around 500 if I can. So we'll see. Right now I'm about 180. Yeah, 180. I'm about 180 pounds. You know, when I was weighed at my endo's office, and his assistant, which is his wife, is like, "How are you 180?" She's like, "You must be all fucking muscle." I'm like, "Yeah, baby. You want to feel that muscle, baby?" Muhammad, 200. Hold on. Get me off of here. Is 200 milligrams test prop plus HCG a good start for someone trying to fix sexual function? All right, you got to super chat your situation. Too much. We need a lot more context, and these are two general questions for you who has sexual dysfunction. So, because the answer to that question is much more nuanced than that. So super chat it or get on a consult with me. Plank Row, the lady on the phone started saying that they were out. So this is relevant to prop, it looks like, and it was discontinued. She then kept trying on her keyboard, then said, "Looks like we were just out of it." Who knows? Huh. Yeah. I mean, I was told by them that it was discontinued. Yeah. But listen, if they're just out and then it's going to come back, that would be great. And it would also make more sense because, again, I pushed a lot of people to Defy Medical for prop, you know, to Defy Medical generally because I think they're generally a good clinic. They have their shortcomings, definitely. I think it's because they're too fucking big. But also, a lot of people went and got prop. So, you know, it could have just blown out their inventory of testosterone propionate. They never sold prop at the level that they've been selling it, you know? So that could have been what happened. And people are just telling me the wrong thing, that it's discontinued. We'll see. You know, we have time, you know, and we're going to see. In the meantime, though, don't wait around. The source list is launching Monday. Good vetted source list so you can get UGL, good quality prop if you need to. Not this Monday, next Monday, okay? That'll be a paid product at livecortex.com, and it will be somewhat pricey because it's a vetted source list, so look forward to that. Look out for that. But it's, you know, everything you could ever want and need, for sure. And it's taken me about 2 years to get these sources, and to have vetted sources, as well as to use all their products, to use their Proviron, to use their HCG, to use their test prop, to use their test NFA, to use their Primo, you know, to use their Aromacin. It's taken me years to use it all and to find, you know, good sources and all that sort of stuff. Any other questions, guys? If you got them, ask them. Hope you guys got some chill plans for the day. Torque stack is still BOGO, by the way. Take 2 capsules. Have good brand performance. Yeah. Fucking rockin' brand performance. The 2 capsules of Torque. Yeah, this is my brainchild, man. This is my baby. I built this thing in 2020. I think it was either late 2021 as when I started building it. Early 2022. It has been the most consequential product that we've ever launched. It has sold more than the Cortex stack, you know, ever did, like per day. People love it. It's you know, people just love continuing to take it. It's buy one, get one free right now. Those of you that just jumped on, if you got questions, post them. Get some shit going. Dara Matthews, $9.99 super chat. Thank you, bro. Started taking 20 milligrams of prop every day. I think I could go up, probably. I mean, that's a relatively low dose of prop, all things considered. You could go up to 200, 250, 300. Also taking 25 milligrams per Proviron. What's your recommendation? 40 milligrams every other day? Intramuscular, no problem. I think my recommendation is if you feel really good right now, don't do anything. Like if sexual function's great, you feel great, you're anabolic to your liking, and there's no side effects, don't do anything. All right. But if you just are experimental and you're curious about what some more prop would do or feel like, then if you're doing 20 every other day, or if you're doing 20 every day, If you want to bump the dose up, do it something consequential and do 60 milligrams every other day. That's what I would do if I were you. You'd be at 210 a week, which is very reasonable. Very reasonable. And then you could actually see what more prop does to you. Yeah. Then you could see what more prop is going to do for you. What's prop going to do for you? That's what I'd suggest. Keep the Proviron dose the same, you know? You'll maybe have to scale it up if Proviron is acting as an AI and that's helping you right now. You know? If it doesn't matter if it's marginal, then I don't know, keep the dose the same. But you might have to scale that Proviron dose up. You know, you're going to have to figure it out for yourself. I can tolerate higher doses of prop without an AI, no problem. I think it's just because I get a peak in estrogen, but then it just goes down, you know? I'm not always peaking, and it leaves the system very quickly. So all the hormones can drop pretty quickly, and then you're just ready to inject back up again. That's why I love the short acting stuff. I really love them. Hector tried 3 clicks of 200 milligrams per milliliter on scrotum and didn't feel good at all. Felt tired and sleepy all day. I was disappointed. Do you have any idea why? Probably converting too much DHT, not enough test, not enough estradiol. I would run 5 pumps a day on the shoulders, and that problem would probably be resolved. You got to try things, you know, like you can't be this guy and you do that and you go, I only tried one thing and now I'm disappointed. Dude, it's not the cream. You know, it's your application method, it's the dose, it's your metabolite management, it's all those things. It's not the cream. Cream's fucking rad. Are you kidding me? Rad. You got to find what works. So try rubbing more on the shoulders is what I would suggest you do. You just might not be getting enough absorption on the testicles. Because that can happen too. If your testicles are completely shut down because you're not on HCG, well then, yeah, you'll have less 5-AR2 there and you get less DHT. That could be a problem too. Whereas you might get a little more on the skin applying to the shoulders, and you'll probably do better making the testicles functional with HCG. But I mean, 3 clicks is a low dose of cream. Yeah, 3 clicks is a low dose of cream. On top of the potential for you not absorbing all of it, that's probably your problem. Yep, I'd rub 5 on the shoulders. That's what I would do if I were you. Justin is saying you said the sources will be on your website. Yeah. Yep. And I'll announce it on the channel as well, but they'll be at livecortex.com. You know, in the menu bar, it'll be very, very easily noticeable, you know, for people to get it, to get the source list. Yep. Launching not this Monday, but next Monday is when it'll be out, or at least very ready, be somewhere around next week, not this coming week, but next week. So look forward to that. But, you know, I'll be talking about it on the channel. I will, you know, probably do a video on it. I'm trying to figure out how I have to walk a little bit on eggshells regarding discussion of sources as a product, I think, just because of YouTube's guidelines. And so we'll have to, you know, think about how we're going to do that. But regardless, you guys will know. If you are, the best way to get informed would be to go to livecortex.com and enter your email for the free nootropics guide. You'll get a free nootropics guide, which is awesome. They'll learn how to use nootropics and make your brain work better. But also, I'll have your email address to market you to you, but specifically to send you a marketing email that says this thing's ready. So that's what I would do if I were you. Anybody looking for the source list, go to livecortex.com, our website, get on the email list when the email thing pops up. Even if you don't want the nootropic guide, just get on the email list, because then I'll email you personally. I write all the emails personally when the source list launches. Yeah, so look forward to that. Look forward to that. Boys, if you got other questions, ask them. Hope you're great. I hope you got some plans for the weekend. For me, yeah, I mean, I've been very busy with my mind, with work and business and stuff. So my brain has been relatively fucking busy. So I'm probably going to vegetate for the rest of the weekend. And that is me playing Warzone back here on the gaming rig. Yeah, probably playing Warzone. Keyboard and mouse, bro. Aimbot and bitches, man. I'm excited about that. Might even do a stream. Might even do like a gaming stream. I think that's fun for me, you know, to stream like on this channel gaming. Who knows? But maybe I'll find a good movie. Need a new Gerard Butler movie. I think Den of Thieves 2 is out soon. Can't wait for that to be out. Can't wait to watch that. What else? Content coming Monday. Trying to think of what else is relevant. Do I have anything else experimenting with moving forward? Just a DHT powder. You know, I don't think there's anything else that I am bringing in at the moment. Like anything new? No. I guess the next experimentation is it's either oxandrolone or Masteron. I don't know. I don't know which one, but I don't know. Maybe Anavar. Oh, is there a fight tonight? That's interesting. Can't be anyone super popular. I'm upset that Sean O'Malley lost. You know, I'm a huge Sean O'Malley fanboy, and I think that it's just the same classical thing when you have like a Khabib-like thing versus Conor, where you got a good striker, an incredible fucking talented striker, and you got somebody who just wrestles the whole time. It's just such a pain in the ass. Pain in the ass, bro. All right, boys, I'm gonna end the stream. No more questions are coming through, so we're gonna cease fire. Torque Stack, buy one get one free. Go get a bottle right now. Okay, 2 capsules, and you've got an Adderall-like effect for hours that doesn't have side effects. Couldn't ask for a better stack, and it's buy one get one free. The code for that is down in the description of this video. Stay strong, boys. Stay powerful. Stay diligent. Stay learning. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will see you guys Monday for some content. Sub to the channel. Like the video if you're still here. Just hit the like button. Costs you nothing and actually makes a huge difference. Please do it if you care about the growth of this channel, which finally at this point, after being banned 5 times or 6, we're starting to grow again, which has just been really awesome for me. Yeah, it's been really awesome because we were stagnating for a very, very long time. So finally, we're actually able to grow and get to where, we should have been years ago. So I can only do that with the help of your guys' likes and spreading the word on the channel. All right, boys, rock on. Take it easy.